Hey, what's up? Sony has a great reputation as a headphone manufacturer. But reviewers usually talk about their top models. For example, the current over-ear WH-1000XM5 and in-ear WF-1000XM4. Another thing is that as the flagships of their lines they cost accordingly. But can you do the same, only more affordable? With sound quality, active noise cancelling and all sorts of handy features that distinguish Sony from the many headphones sold by the kilos on Aliexpress. Today I'm going to tell you about some of the best wireless headphones I've tested. Meet the Sony LinkBuds S. I'll start by unboxing to show the package. The packaging, of course, surprises with its miniature size and at the same time the complexity of the design. We take off something like a dust cover. Under it there is a chest of thicker cardboard with a magnet lid. Inside, in addition to the space for a case with headphones, there is another box with a mini manual and 3 pockets. One for the USB-A to USB-C cable. The second for 3 pairs of extra ear tips of different sizes. And the third is for all sorts of paperwork like instructions and link to the Sony 360 audio app. In general, it seems to be a standard set. But all these complications with the packaging inspire respect. I got the LinkBuds S in black. Although it is actually a very dark gray. The case is compact, easily fits in pockets. The weight is only 35 grams. On top of the lid of the Sony logo. On the front is a LED indicator. On the back the pairing button and USB-C connector. The material is super practical. It's a matte textured plastic. It's nice to hold in your hands. It doesn't slip out. In addition, it is more fingerprint resistant in contrast to the glossy and soft touch. While it is not clear how much of this material will rub off in the process of use. Who has been using these headphones for a while? Share in the comments. It is possible to open the case with one hand. The lid is held by a magnet and when closing it makes a clear pop. In the extreme open position it locks. But in the closed position there is a slight play. The headphones are easily taken out by the upper solid part. Nothing slips. It is not necessary to pull out anything with force. Inside they are firmly held by magnets and do not fly out when you shake them. And just for the record, the case can be placed vertically. The headphones themselves are in-ear type, and visually there is a clear family resemblance to the flagship WF-1000XM4. At the same time, the younger model is much smaller, 40%, and lighter, 30%. The material, like the case, is a practical matte, slightly textured plastic. So, there is a minimum of fingerprints. The build quality is good. I will not describe the form. You can see it all by yourself. The surfaces on the outside are for touch control. On the inside you can see the windows of the auto pause sensors and contacts for charging. They fit easily and stay firmly in your ears. I did not feel any discomfort while wearing them. The minimal size and weight will suit most people. Since I mentioned comfort, I will say a few words about the ear tips. They are silicone, simple and soft enough. I got the biggest ones unexpectedly. I usually use the smallest ones in this kind of headphones. Since the sound tube is simple and round, there is room to play with some non-standard ear tips like foam. There is protection against splashing by IPX4 standard. You should not immerse it in water. But it is possible to have a jog in a light rain. Not sure about the jogging though. If you notice, there are no additional wings for fixation. The LinkBuds S didn't fly out of my ears when shaking my head. But there was a slight fear of losing them all the same. Let's move on to the technical details. The connection is via Bluetooth 5.2. Both standard SBC and AAC codecs are supported, as well as the proprietary DAC for maximum quality. Since the end of 2022 the headphones also support multi-point. That is, simultaneous connection to 2 devices. Thanks to the latest firmware. There is no low latency mode. Not a problem when watching YouTube and movies. When playing games, the delay is small, but it is felt. In spring 2023 with the firmware update should appear support for Bluetooth Low audio. This is quite a big extension of Bluetooth functions. Let's see what Sony implements in these earbuds. It seems that they promise reduced latency in games. LinkBuds S works fine with my Windows laptop, my iPhone, Android gadgets. They connect like any other Bluetooth headphones. For Android devices, Google Fast Pair is supported. Then right in the Bluetooth settings, without any additional app, You can see the charge of the headphones and the case, plus some basic settings like LDAC codec activation. There's also multi-point activation and headphone search, both with the sound they make and on the map with the Google Find My Device app. There's something similar for Windows called Swift Pair. Mono headset style operation is also supported. Then you can stash one of the headphones in a case and keep using the other one. In my case, only the right one worked in mono mode. Although, according to the diagram on the manufacturer's website, both headphones are equal in data transfer. It is impossible to talk about the controls, sound and a whole bunch of various additional features without mentioning the Sony Headphones app. It is available for both Android and iOS, so no one will feel offended. Everything is arranged in tabs. So, I will go in order, but not too much detail. The instructions and annotations in the app itself are there for that. The initial screen meets us with information about the charge of the headphones and the case. Below that is adaptive sound control. This is the adjustment of the headphones depending on your location and activity. Next is multi-point control. Here, for example, you can add a second connected device. Next is the sound tab. For me, this tab is the most important. Here you can activate noise reduction and transparency mode. I can say right away that the noise cancelling as for in-ear headphones is excellent. Tried it on the subway. Basically, it removes the low frequency hum, and a little misses the upper and upper mid-range frequencies. In any case, if at home I listen to music at 50% volume, then in the subway I would raise the volume by 10 to 15%. I never had to turn it up to full volume. Noise reduction also affects the sound a little bit by increasing the bass. The mode has no additional settings. Only on or off. I did not notice any annoying white noise. Transparency mode is awesome. Plus, you can adjust the gain. In addition, you can turn on the transmission-only voices while suppressing all other sounds. Below is speak to chat. To describe it simply, the headphones automatically activate transparency mode if you start talking. You can set the sensitivity of the function and the time after which the transparency turns off. This thing is handy. But it doesn't go off right away but a couple of seconds after your first word. So, it is better to cough in the beginning, for example. And here is the equalizer. Here we can finally talk about sound. The drivers in LinkBuds S at first glance are relatively small. Only 5mm, which against the competitors with speakers twice as big does not look serious. But it unexpectedly had no effect on the sound. The sound in the headphones is almost neutral by default. And then you adjust it to your heart's content. The headphones respond well to this and can give both a detailed airy sound of the orchestra, and the most powerful bass of electronics. Both preset and manual 5-band EQ with optional bass amplifier are available. So, most listeners won't be disappointed. Underneath the EQ is adjusting the spatial sound by photographing and analyzing the shape of the earpieces. Honestly, all that 3D sound in any manufacturer's headphones is just not my thing. I'm not a fan of that. What is more important? The choice of Bluetooth connection quality. There are two options, the priority of quality and the priority of stability. On the iPhone, there is not much difference. Immediately include quality. In some early reviews mentioned connection failures. I have never encountered one. Perhaps the problem was in the early firmware and later it was fixed. On Android, on the other hand, the choice makes sense. The stability priority uses the AAC codec. And with the priority of quality, LDAC. In the first case, the headphones live longer. In the second case, with a high-quality source, such as FLAC format, the sound can come out with more details and nuances. Although for me the difference is subtle. On the verge of perception. Especially considering the fact that I'm not listening to the most sophisticated music. And what without the proprietary enhancements? C Extreme is supposed to restore the details of sound loss during compression. I did not feel any difference when activating it. But let it be. I will mention that yes, the sound in the headphones is great for 99% of customers. But not perfect. Audiophiles are likely to wrinkle their nose and look for at least dual driver solutions. Or anything wired at all. You can move on to the next tab, System. Here you can find the switch of multi-point, connection of voice assistant and control gesture setting. The headphone control is touch sensitive. Single, double, triple and long taps are supported. Setting is implemented in a peculiar way. We do not select the action for each gesture, but ready schemes separately for the right and left earpiece. 3 schemes are available. Noise mode, transparency control, playback control and volume control. Well, and you can turn on a separate gesture with quick access to Spotify or Endel. Too bad there is no YouTube music, which I use. In general, the control is very handy, with an adequate level of sensitivity. Headphones do not react like a neurotic to any accidental touch. I really had a lot of trouble with some of the Chinese models, which are already switching something 10 times before you take them out of the case or ear. Okay, I'm done with the application. There's also a check of the fit of the earpads, an automatic shutdown timer, activation of auto pause sensors, firmware updates, and statistics on the use of headphones with the receipt of achieves. To check the work of the microphones went out, as always, to a busy highway. Cleaning of the voice from external noise and wind is implemented very well. Well, and you can judge for yourself.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Check the result of new Sony headphones LinkBuds S. Microphone test. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, I hope my voice will be heard clearly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Headphones Sony LinkBuds S.
And autonomy. LinkBuds S is certainly not a record breaker, but it is clearly good at it. A full charge with noise cancelling on is enough for about 6 hours of listening to music. Without noise cancelling, 9 hours. The case adds another 14 or 21 hours respectively. 5 minutes in the case is enough time for the headphones to work for about an hour. The only nuance, the use of LDAC codec will worsen these figures by 20%. At the time of writing the video, Sony LinkBuds S headphones cost about $150 or 150 euro. The price for in-ear TWS is not small. But here is what you pay for. Great sound, high quality LDAC codec, nice design and wearing comfort, good autonomy, active noise cancellation, multi-point for 2 devices, auto pause sensors, a bunch of additional features such as 3D sound and configuration in the application for Android and iOS. Don't forget about Sony's support when new firmware adds new features and fixes problems. Almost a flagship device, and even from such a brand. Plus, unlike the same AirPods Pro, all the functionality is available on both iPhones and Android smartphones. What may not suit someone is the setting of gestures-ready schemes, rather than separately each tap, the lack of wireless charging and low latency mode for games. In any case, these are the most interesting in-ear headphones I've tested so far. That's been it. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you next time.